going, friends, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video we're going to be looking at Aifix and Eduard. Now this is a video that's more of my experiences between Eduard and Aifix, and it's not to be taken as, you know, one kit is better than the other. This is more of sort of my experiences that I've had with these two. Part of the reason that I've picked these two manufacturers is that, of course, Aifix is, you know, a long-running company, started somewhere in the 1939, and has obviously been a massive staple in, you know, the hobby. The reason I'm using Eduard is because it's basically one of my favourite manufacturers. And I just want to do, you know, a little video on the differences between these two and sort of some of the things that you possibly may expect from these. Now, again, these are my experiences between these two kits. So, you know, I don't want this to be, like I said before, a definitive one's better than the other. It's simply my experiences with the two. Now, like I said, Aifix has been going for such a long time. They've made many kits over the years, and some really good ones, and some really good ones, unfortunately, they have discontinued. Now, Aifix has always done kits that kind of, you know, apply to everybody, if you like. You know, so whether you're a beginner or an expert, you know, pretty much anybody can pick one of these kits up and build them, and, you know, and have fun with it. And I think that's always been really Aifix's, you know, kind of idea of what they want their company to be. Eduard, he's a much younger manufacturer. They started somewhere in the, I think if I remember rightly, sort of the late 70s, mainly working or mainly producing, I should say, sorry, upgrade kits, or the photo etch stuff, which is always something I've always, or nearly always, put into my kits as an add-on. I think it was in '95 they started producing kits as well, with some extreme, you know, high detail kits. Now, this is one of the reasons why I do really enjoy using Eduard kits and pretty much Eduard products. Their attention to detail is absolutely amazing. The kits are absolutely fantastic, fantastically detailed, and some of their kits, like the profile packs, they also come with a very basic photo etch kit, which usually consists of, at the very bare minimum, of instrument panel, seat belts, and a few other little details for within the cockpit. Now, this probably is going to be a slightly unfair, maybe slightly biased video. For the examples of this, I'm using two Spitfires. So, and they are obviously very different marks, and they're completely different manufacturers. So, my experiences that I've had with both these have actually both been really good. Now, of course, Aifix, as a kid, I pretty much made absolute shed loads of these kits, and they were great. The one thing that's always sort of surprised me with Aifix, and particularly even today and how long they've been going for some reason their detail hasn't really been upgraded much. Okay, in recent years, you know, their tooling has become so much more better than it used to be. And again, of course, like Eduard's, you know, they put a lot of effort into their detail. They even go down to putting rivets into a lot of their kits. Now, Aifix, over the years, I says, they've been quite slow at, you know, upgrading their kits, which they've been doing a lot of recently. And again, they have been producing some absolutely fantastic kits. Some of the issues I've had with Aifix, and it's a little bit of an age-old problem with them, is that I feel that their quality control isn't overly that good. Now, a couple of months back, I bought a dogfight duo kit of Aifix's, which was the Mark V Spit and the 109 E series, both tropical variants. And it's the first kit I've built in quite a long time, because again, I kind of gone off Aifix because they just, sometimes some of the ones that just seem to be picking up were just such a hassle to make, with, you know, poor fitting issues. And I'd hoped that this kit would sort of put some faith back into Aifix and, you know, get back into building their kits, because they'd produced quite a few kits that I really wanted to do. The kit was absolutely amazing. The fit was fantastic. Again, it was a fairly new tooling, so the detailing was really nice. The panel lines were really nice and crisp. They'd obviously gotten completely rid of any form of raised panel lining, and it was all a fantastic kit to build. So this led me to buying Aifix's 1/72 Wellington, which is something I really wanted to do, because it was the first kit I ever built on my own. Okay, admittedly I didn't build it very well, but it was a great kit. The fit was really good. The detailing on that one actually was absolutely exceptional. The internal details were absolutely amazing, considering you weren't going to see any of it. But it was a real fun build to do. And again, it's probably one of Aifix's main things, is just so it's fun. You know, you don't have to worry about, you know, stupid amounts of detail or super detail. It's just an out-the-box kit. It's fun to do, really simple, you know, and you haven't really got to worry too much about it. Now, in saying that, I have built, one was actually commissioned, one was for myself, but they're both the same kit. They were both the Mark 19 Spitfire. Both of these had a few fitting issues, which was really frustrating. Even after putting it all together, cleaning up all the you know, the issues, some of the seams that I had problems with, and some of the sinkage, and just some ill-fitting parts, mainly around the cowl that would have been over the fuel tank, and the wing roots, which, to be fair, with a lot of kits is generally where most of the issues are. Now, admittedly, I'm not the, you know, super, you know, fantastic modeler. There's still stuff I'm learning, and still stuff I'm trying to perfect, but no matter how much I tried, I did struggle to, you know, fix some of these issues, which has sort of pushed me back a little bit with Aifix. But I still have a couple of their kits that I really want to do, so it's not completely stopped me, but it is just a little bit sort of disappointing. You'd think after all these years they would have sorted themselves out, their quality control would have been somewhat better, and we wouldn't be having these sort of issues. Now, one thing that has sort of surprised me with Aifix is that they haven't, you know, gone into the, you know, I'd like to say, so probably the more experienced type kits, like someone like Tamiya does. They do a very simple, you know, simple range, but they do their higher, sort of detailed, more probably experienced modelers kits. And it's just something that was sort of surprised me with them, that they haven't done anything like that to keep up with, you know, all this new stuff that's coming out. So this is what brings me to Eduard, and their detailing is, as I've said before, is just redonkulous. You know, they do some super detailing. They put a lot of effort into their kits, a lot of detail. You know, they obviously do a hell of a lot of research on their kits before they produce them. Now, I'm not saying that they're completely perfect or completely accurate. I'm no expert on these. I do build my models for fun. I will do them to a sort of more realistic type standard, because that's what I want to do with my kits. You know, that's the way I enjoy building them. So I will put a lot of aftermarket stuff into these kits. Now, like the Aifix one that we're using for this video that I've shown you, that has actually got Eduard's instrument panel and seat belts, again, because this was for commission, so I upgraded some of it on there. But it's still, even then, it's still you know, still nicely detailed. But Eduard just go that extra mile. They do simpler kits, but they also do these super detailed ones, which I do really enjoy making. Now, I have had very few issues with Eduard. Their kits generally go together pretty well. Now, admittedly, I've been working on a Focke-Wulf 190, which I have actually had some fitting issues with. It's not one of their best kits that I've ever built. I've had to do a lot of sanding down to get the two fuselage to look like a singular piece, as they should do in the right areas. You know, so, you know, they all have their imperfections. They're not all the best. But, you know, these are my experiences with these kits. Tamiya is one of my other top favourites. They're reasonably priced, and they do some fantastic detailed kits, and they're also really good for pretty much from, I'm going to say not so much beginner, but intermediate to, you know, the more professional modeler. Sorry. So what I will say is that, so don't take my word for this. I'm just giving you my experience with these. Do research on these sort of kits before you buy them. You know, there's plenty of YouTube videos out there that will tell you, you know, what you want to know. You know, whether this is the kit for you. Is this going to be a problem build? Is it going to be really simple? Is it something that I can actually do even if it is a problem? You know, it's always worth doing your research before you buy these kits. You know, don't take that one video like this one. Don't take this one as a gospel on Eduard is better than Aifix. It's just my experience has been better with Eduard than it has with Aifix. And I know there's been plenty of people that have had absolutely fantastic you know, things to say about Aifix, and they love their kits. One of the guys from work, he's built several of their kits recently, even some of their newer ones like their Vulcan, and has praised that kit like nobody's business. He says it's been a fantastic build, and yet I have seen another video that has said that it's all right. You know, there's problems with it. You know, everyone has different experiences with their kits. It depends on how they make them. I mean, when I made Aifix's P40, I did have an issue marrying the two halves together, but that was because of the way I built it. I didn't follow their instructions to the T. Most of Aifix's at the moment, their cockpit is generally a singular modular piece. Now, because the way I like to weather my cockpits, that wasn't going to work for me. So I made them, I put it into the fuselage straight away. So I did have a fishing issue because things didn't go together properly. That was my fault. You know, so like I says, you know, do your research on these things. You know, you just can't take it all at face value. Watch a few videos, look up reviews in other magazines, or, you know, other Facebook groups or Instagram or whatever you follow. You know, just, it's really important with pretty much everything. Is just quite simply do your research before you buy a kit, and make sure it's the kit, you know, for you to build. So anyway, that's my little ramble on Aifix and Eduard. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. And yeah, thanks very much for the support, and I'll catch you again soon.